Hi, I'm Rick Willis with BirdGard, and today we're going to be assembling and installing the BirdGard Super Pro Amp, the largest, most powerful bird repeller available. Now, these initial steps you're going to find easier to do in the shop or on the tailgate of the truck, so you don't have to worry about losing small parts out in the field. Let's start with the control box. Lay it face down. Take the mounting brackets with the slots to the top. Insert the screws. Repeat at the bottom, making sure the slots go down. And tighten. Set the control box up, take the U-bolts and insert them from the back. Install the nuts, but only screw them down far enough that they won't come undone in transit. Duplicate on the bottom. Locate the battery cable and the small connectors. Feed them through the cinch release at the bottom of the control box. Connect the red to the positive and the black to the negative. It is extremely important that this is done correctly, or you will risk blowing the fuse. And tighten. This fuse is a standard automotive ATC 5 amp fuse. If it gets blown, you can pick one up at any car parts store. For the solar panel, carefully turn it face down. The solar panel mounting bracket has two movable plates held on by carriage bolts. Loosen the carriage bolts, but do not remove the nuts. Position the bracket so that the carriage bolt held plates slide underneath the lip of the solar panel. And tighten the nuts. On the solar panel mounting bracket is a screw. This may be a Phillips screw or an Allen head. If it is an Allen head, there will be a wrench provided. Loosen, but do not remove the screw. Back it out far enough that the solar panel mounting bracket will rotate. Rotate it 45 degrees, about like that. And then screw the screw back in, but it only needs to be snug. Take your remaining two U-bolts and install them from the inside. But do not tighten them down. You will finish that in the field. Leave the wire attached at this point. In most applications, you're going to want your BirdGard speaker tower to be at least 5 to 10 feet above crop height or other obstructions. In this case, we're using a 10-foot length of IMC conduit and a 5-foot length, joined together by a steel coupler. If you use water pipe, make sure you're using a heavy steel coupler, not a cast one. Those can tend to break. First, we'll install the control box. Make sure that the top of the control box is towards the speaker. Slide it over the pipe. Next, we'll install the solar panel in a like fashion, sliding the pipe through the U-bolts. I often find it's very easy to do this if you let this end rest on the tailgate of the pickup. The other end can go on the ground. Next, we're going to thread the two pipes together. You're going to want to make sure that this is nice and tight. You don't need to wrench it, but you also don't want it to be sloppy. In most cases, you're going to want your solar panel to be above the foliage. This is especially important on vineyards and other areas where you've got a tall crop. The solar panel needs to be unobstructed and pointing south. Typically, that's about 7 feet off the ground. So I'm going to estimate that my solar panel needs to be about there. And we're going to go ahead and tighten it down, realizing we may need to position it at the end. The control box can likewise be tightened. The speaker mounts by sliding over the top of the pipe. At the bottom of the speaker is a 1 1/8 inch opening. It's designed to slide over the top of a 1 inch outside diameter pipe. At the top of the speaker is a pin. This locates the speaker on the pipe. Slide the speaker over the pipe all the way, and you'll have to wiggle it around until you can get it over the locating pin. This may take a few tries. You know you're there when it won't wobble. Tighten the collet screws. Very important, cut the zip tie on the wire for the speaker. You don't want to put the speaker 15 feet in the air and realize you forgot to cut the zip tie. I've done that. Wrap it around the pipe a couple of times. I never like carrying these when the wires are dangling around. Bad things can happen. Take the wire and run it through the open space in the solar panel mounting bracket. Then feed it through the wire cinch all the way. Leave yourself a few inches of wire left over. It's always good to have a handful of zip ties. And connect the speaker wires to the poles marked speaker. You don't have to be concerned about polarity on these. You're now ready to take the entire assembly out to the field and finalize the installation. Assembly in the field is very straightforward. Once you have your mounting pole attached to an end post or T-post, you want to take your battery cable, it's connected here, and connect it to the battery. Again, be very certain you're connecting the positive to the red and the negative to the black. At your solar panel, cut the zip ties holding the solar panel wire to the frame. And likewise, connect the red to the positive and the black to the negative. You're going to want to secure these mounting nuts very tight. There's a lot of energy transferred between the battery and the solar panel and the unit. And if they're not tight, you can build up corrosion and your battery can run dead. At the BirdGard control box, hand tighten this cinch nut at the bottom of the control box. This serves two purposes. It collapses around the wire so that moisture can't get in, and it also keeps insects from building a house inside. Once it's all done, simply turn it on and turn it up. The sound card contains all the bird sounds. The label indicates which bird sounds are on the file, both target birds and raptors. Make sure this is firmly seated into the control box. The dip switches control the bird sounds and the operational controls. Sounds 1 through 8 correspond to the sounds on the sound card. The next switches control the time off interval. This unit, when you receive it, is set for the shortest time off interval. To change it, simply use the schematic to the left. It is set for short time off. For medium, it's switch it 1 off, 2 on. For extra long, it would be 1 off and 2 off. To change it from daytime to nighttime, you simply turn switch number 4 on. For 24-hour operation, it's 3 off, 4 on. For nighttime only, it's 3 on, 4 on. The random switch, number 5, should always be in the on position. That ensures that the birds do not habituate to the BirdGard unit. The default setting for all operations is 1 on, 2 off, 3 on, 4 off, and number 5 is on. I'm Rick Willis with BirdGard. This is the installation video for the Super Pro amp. If you have any questions, please give us a call.